Alright, so today I'm going to figure out what's the biggest LLM I can actually run at home. I have a DJX Spark and I'm going to show you how to set up an LLM. To get started, I go down here and I have this NVIDIA Sync and I click on that and I have this Open WebUI custom tab. It opens up and this is what we're going to be setting up as this LLM, and we're going to figure out what's the largest model I can run locally on the DJX Spark with no cloud, no subscription, just raw GPU power. So if you want to sell an LLM workflow, this is your setup. Up here, we'll have the drop down. I'll show you how to load these models, which is like the DeepSeek 32. I got a DeepSeek 70B. I got the LLaMA 70B, the Qwen 32, and the OSS 20B. And we can just type in private stuff like, how do I ask people to like and subscribe to my channel? And I'll just, spell it correctly. And I'll hit send message. And this way it's going to bring me back my results. And then I won't have to worry about putting my stuff on ChatGPT where it can be data mined. This is going to be at home, private, on my own server. And we see that we have our response, coming in. And, we can read this, but again, I'm talking about we're more just how to set this up. And since it's more like enterprise and it's not using your local video card, it's actually using a more enterprise type card. Your response will be a little bit slower, but the trade-off is I can load a lot larger models. And we'll take a look and see what we can do to make this, comfortable and make it, workable for us. And again, if that sounds good, let's get started. All right, so to get started to build the LLM using WebUI and Ollama, we can go to https://build.nvidia.com, hit the Explorer, and then go down here to run on Spark. And we have it right here, Open WebUI with Ollama. And again, this is going to be the easiest way to get started. I just click on this, and it gives me an overview. And then over here, it gives me two instructions where I can set up manually or set up Open WebUI on a remote Spark with NSync. Okay? So if I click on this, and we notice that we have the Docker permissions, we have the verified Docker setup, and we go down here, and this is if we want to add the Open WebUI custom port configuration. So basically, when we hit NVIDIA Sync, it will show up down here because we can add new down there, which is the way that I'm going to set it up. Okay? If you don't want to set it that way, you can go to set up manually, and you can SSH into it. And if you notice, step 1 and step 2 are exactly the same. The difference is step 3, we're actually going to run the Docker container through the Docker command, and then we'll have to access it through the local host. I'm just going to do it to the NVIDIA Sync. You can do it either way. The process is pretty much the same except for that last part. So like I said, I'm going to use NVIDIA Sync to do this. So I'll just click down here, open up NVIDIA Sync, and hit terminal. And basically what I'm going to end up doing is just following these instructions. Okay? So it's going to be pretty straightforward. Alright, so let me blow this up a little bit just so you can see. First command, it says, Docker PS, and it says permission denied. And that's because I never set up a Docker user group before. If you already did, then you won't get permission denied. The next command we have down here is a sudo user mod ag docker user, and then we're going to have a new group set up called Docker. So I'm going to copy this first command, paste it into the terminal, and run that, and it's going to ask me for my password, which I'm going to put in. And then it's going to say new group Docker, which I'm going to set up. And then I'm going to do Docker PS again. And now I can actually see that without running the sudo command every time. So if you set this up in another process before, you can just go straight to the Docker PS just to validate it. And that's pretty much step one. Moving on to step two, it's a pretty straightforward process. We're just going to pull a Docker container, and that's going to be the Open WebUI and Ollama. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it over here in my terminal, and I'm going to run it. And all that's going to do is just download my container. And setting up the container is really as easy as that. All right, so now once the Docker container is pulled down, we can kind of set that up in our NVIDIA Sync. And over here in step 3, it says Open NVIDIA Sync. So we'll just go ahead and do that really quick. And it says to add custom. So we're going to add new. And this says to name it. We can name it whatever we want to name it, but right here it's going to be the Open WebUI. So I'll call it Open WebUI. And then right here it says port 1200. And then it says to auto open in browser at the following path. And then for the launch script, it says to put this bash command in there. So I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to throw this in there. Now, one thing to notice is in the Docker container itself, when it opens it up, it has the port 1200 here. So if you want to change this, you can change this to a different port number if you want. And I forgot my 0 over here. So, here's 12,000, and then this is 12,000. Just make sure whatever you put it on, it's the same. And, we do this for just kind of like a quick reference. Plus, we want to make sure that it's not conflicting with any of our other containers that we have running. Then we just hit add, and then it's saving it. And the next thing, we go down here to step 5. So step 5, it says we can click on the sync icon in your system tray, or we can use the default web browser and do the local host. And it gives us this warning on first run. Open WebUI will download the models, and this can play start times. So let's go ahead and go to our NVIDIA Sync, and we have this custom Open WebUI down here. That's new. We just created that, and we'll go ahead and click that, and then it's going to open up a web browser for us, and this will take a second because it says that it can delay and start and cause the page to fail or load in your browser. Simply wait and refresh the page. Alright, so we'll wait a minute, and then we'll give that a shot to see what happens next. And as you can tell, I have this new local host up over here tab that popped up. And if I hit it, and it says it cannot be reached, but again, if we read over here, it says that it could delay and cause the page to fail to load. Simply wait and refresh the page. Again, we're just going to wait for that to happen, and then we'll come back when it's up. Alright, so I waited a little bit just to see if these models would load. So I'm going to go back down here and hit my sync and hit my Open WebUI. And there it goes, it's working. Now, I did think it wasn't going to work earlier, in fairness, because it just took forever to load. But I had to run uptown for a little bit, and I came back, and everything appears to be working now. So I guess when it says over here that it would take a while to first run and cause the page to fail to load in your browser. So I know that it took anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour to come up on the first open, and that's because that's about the time that I went and I came back. So just be patient. Once you load it, just go around the house, do something else, maybe change a fire alarm battery, and do something like that, and then Come back and it should be up and going. So going back to the WebUI, it says getting started. So we'll just hit the getting started. And it says Open WebUI does not make any external connections and your data stays solely on your hosted server. So the first thing we have to do is create an admin account. So we're going to create that now. You just enter your name, email, and password and create the account. Pretty straightforward. Alright, so I created the admin account and it just has what's new in the Open WebUI, and it kind of gives you some information up here, and you can read through this entire thing if you want, or you can just hit OK and let's go. In my case, I'm just going to hit OK, let's go. And then it has me up there, has my name. If I hit select a model, I have no models up here, so I am going to have to download a model. So if I jump back over to here, we created the administrator account in step 6, and we got to download and configure a model. So it says to download a language model with Ollama and configure it. It happens on the DHbox device and may take several minutes. So click on select the model, drop down the top corner, and then type in GPT OSS 20B. And let's do that. We'll just go ahead and copy this over. And it says click the Pull Model button that appears and wait for the download to complete. So we'll go over here. I'll paste that in. And it has this Pull GPT model from Ollama. So I click on that and then it downloads. And we'll just wait for this download to complete. Alright, so it looks that my model has been successfully downloaded. So that's a good thing. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to click on it and I'm going to hit this set as default. Then I'm going to ask it my question, like how do I change my fire alarm when I cannot reach it with the ladder that I have due to high ceilings. Okay, and then cannot. Okay, and I'll hit that. It'll probably tell me to buy a bigger ladder, but we'll see. So it says it's thinking right now, and then there it goes. It says get the right ladder, turn off the power, remove the old alarm, install a new low profile battery, and test the alarm. Well, I guess that's probably right. I'm talking about I probably should get a ladder, and I'll probably sit there and have to lower it before I can actually reach it. So this is nice that it gives me all that information, and it's a little slow to get started, but it's quick enough, especially when you're keeping your data private. So it does give me some options. But the other thing I want to show you, if I go up here, you'll see that my little face is up here. But basically, if I click on that and I go to settings, I go to account, and then right here, I just click on that, and when I do, I can just select the image that I want, and I just hit open, and then it replaces that. And I hit save, and then you'll be able to sit there and see that picture appear up in the upper right hand corner. And that's pretty much it. So we do get everything set up. So going back to step 7, we download and configure the model. We kind of test the model by writing our fire alarm situation. And then at step 9, it says, we can stop the Open WebUI. It says when you finish with your session, stop the Open WebUI and reclaim resources, right? So it does use resources, so if you don't want to waste your resources, just go ahead and close that in the end. But we should have plenty to keep it up and going. It's really not that big of a deal. If it ever becomes an issue with me, then I'll look into it. And the last thing I want to show you, it says try downloading different models from the Ollama library, and you can monitor the GPU and memory usage through the DS dashboard, which is pretty straightforward. And it says if Open WebUI reports an update is available, you can pull the container image by running this in your terminal. So basically, if we want to update our Open WebUI, we just remove the Open WebUI container and just pull down the new one. So that's pretty straightforward. But let's look at these different models in this library, what we can use. Alright, so now that we're at the library for Ollama, I can go down here and pick what models I want to use. There's plenty of models all the way down here that we can pick from. The one I'm going to use is, I'm going to go down here to this Qwen 3, and the 235B is going to be too big for my Spark. I only have one of them. If I had two, I could run it, but since I only have one, I'm going to use the 32B. So if I click on that, it gives me different commands that I could run. I can look at the CLI, and it gives me the information. And again, I go to curl, and it'll just tell me how to use these things. Python gives me a simple response back. But for this purpose of this video, we're just going to load the model. With the Qwen 3 latest, I'm going to use this one. Now I could use this Qwen 3, colon 8B, which is the latest. It's the same one, but just to be sure, I'm just going to use this one up here that says latest. And I just hit the copy button right there. Then I'll go back, and then what I'll end up doing is I can hit this plus sign to add a new model. And then I'll use the drop down, and I'll search for the model, and I'll paste that in there, which would be the Qwen 3 latest. And it says no results found, and again, it gives me a chance to pull it. So I just hit pull, and it's going to pull that model before I can use it. So in summary, it's really the same thing as we pull the first model. I'm just showing you where to go and get the models at this point. So you can load as many models as you want, and you can switch back and forth between them depending on what you want to do. Alright, so now that I have the Qwen model downloaded, I'm just going to hit this minus sign up here and remove it. And I'm going to hit this drop down and then hit the Qwen latest up there. And then once I do that, I'm just going to do new chat. And now you see that I'm in the Qwen 3 latest. And I can answer the question. It's like, what is the temperature on Mars? And I know I misspelled that temperature, but I'm talking about it knows what I mean. And this will bring it up and kind of see what we'll have. And again, we're running this locally. We don't have the resources like all the big boys, so this will take a second to run. But again, the benefits having on your own system, and I can ask what I want. This already thinking, and then it's going to start, bringing back those response. And then here we go. Once it starts bringing back the response, it's actually pretty quick. And that's pretty much it. So from here, I'm talking about you can load more. I'm going to start adding different features to this, so to see what else I can do with it. I like to put like an image creator in this, so I'll probably end up trying to modify the Docker container and add some additional features. So just stay tuned and stick around, and we can see that if you have any ideas or any pointers, or if you have better resources, let me know, because I'll take a look at those and gotta go from there. Because if there's a better way to do things, I'm talking about more learning new things all the time. So let me know if you see something that we can do better.